time to waste. Full time. Good afternoon, bike boy. Good afternoon to all those locked in from Southeast St. Anne. A very pleasant good afternoon, Dr. Kenneth Russell, and to all the comrades who, of course, bring back the fold to our former glory. Remember the lady bring on the dung right down to the ground, 32 votes she win by. Dr. Kenneth Russell come turn up back the thing and put us back in the thousands. As some know say PNP is back, But nonetheless, my lovely people, I appreciate those of you who are here, and we are going to delve into the meat of the matter this afternoon. Good afternoon, Sylvia Newkirk. Good afternoon, Audrey Grosset. Dervalasio, good afternoon. Thank you guys for joining. So today we celebrate former Prime Minister Percival James Patterson, otherwise known as PJ, and we want to bless him up on his earth strong. Fendi Fine One, big up yourself. Pow Pow, manners and respect. Michelle Johnson, yes man. A lot of us, including myself, grew up under the era of this man. And despite the chastisation, despite all that they try to do and say about him and to malign his character and his achievements, he don't need to come out and say a word to anyone. You know why? Because the legacy of this man speaks solely for itself. Nobody no need to come out, come remind Jamaica what PJ Patterson have done for this country. So all the try and all the, Jamaicans know the truth. Jamaicans know the truth. And so we want to bless up our former Prime Minister, leader of the People's National Party, Percival Noel James Patterson, on his birthday today, all at age 91. 9 more years to go to sound your century, PJ Patterson. And we just want to wish you all the best. Continue to eat right, live good, and of course, God will carry you through. So happy birthday once again to our former Prime Minister and leader of our noble movement, the People's National Party. Jamaica, on a bit of announcement, the People's National Party kick things off this time. All road leads to Mandeville. The Mandeville division, under the tutelage of Councillor Jones Oliphant, What my sister-in-law them a harass me for? Eh? They ready for carry the pit in them come yam down me house and look how me stack out me place so over this blessed Easter holiday. Them a call me now to make me know say them a come. And me have so never the Lord have mercy when them hook me your fridge, you know, I done it done, you know. But anyway, I had to answer those calls, you know, family above everything. But anyway, my lovely people, Jamaica, the PNP kicks off things, yes, in Mandeville for the annual conference for the Mandeville Division. Councillor Jones Oliphant and the team. And so we are looking forward for the comrades to come on out. Yes, the last Sunday of May 31st, which is next month. So uno can say uno no have ample time to get to thing together. Glenn West say left them make them eat. You don't know who them have vipers there. Me say me have 3 nephews and for me brother they carry 3 of them come put them for me one time. But I am a good uncle and they know I spoil them dearly. But yeah, man, I know say I saw me behave sometime, but yeah. But anyway, we are looking forward to this conference, and I know with the People's National Party kick off things in Mandeville Division, it is off to a good start. Special guest speakers, Peter Bunting from South, the Southwest St. Andrew MP and chairperson, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, and of course, Northeast MP for Manchester, or is it Northwest? Yes, Michael Phillips, too, will be there. So we're looking forward. The PNP, remember local government election is a year and couple months from now, you know, we have to set we house in order. Yes, and we intend to capitalize on the 115 division that we took from the Jamaica Labour Party. Remember, them have 112 and we have 115. So yes, the aim is to maintain the 115 and of course, topple some more from the... You don't need no eyeglasses, sister, the PNP. I got to take away some seat. The government now go on good. The government is not going on well, you know. And with the way them handle Hurricane Melissa, Lord help them in the West. Lord help all the one Floyd Green him. Cookie, big up yourself. Good afternoon. And so Jamaica, we are looking forward for the kick start to our conferences. So let us support each other conference because you know when I hear division time, we are going to want the support. I just saw it go. Not true. Yes, man. So all road leads to Mandeville. Councillor Jones Oliphant, councillor for the Mandeville Division, will be having his annual conference on Sunday, May 31st. So anybody will drive, load up on a vehicle with no friends, throw in some gas, and on left out early, and we are going to show Councillor Oliphant some love and some respect for holding it down for the People's National Party in Mandeville. Jamaica, where to start this afternoon? It's a very hot topic, and so I decided to start there this morning. Promise I hear councillor? Good man. Good man, Councillor Jones Oliphant. I've met the man, and let me tell you something. Lord, he remind me of my grandparents. Knowledgeable, sensitive, and he has a passion to serve. Yeah. Despite road I take the constituency, it is good that the PNP continue to hold the fort locally. Rhoda no have no choice but to support the councillors them and give them all that they need. So when it comes on to local government election, without a doubt, I know the PNP will continue to hold on to the 4 divisions down there in Manchester Central, and of course we will continue to hold on to the Manchester Municipal Corporation. Now, Jamaica, I want to kick things off this afternoon with the hot topic, what is happening within the Jamaica Teachers Association with Mr. Mark Malabva. And it seems to me that the Jamaica Labour Party is on to a witch hunt. And they came out and they tried to ridicule the president of the JTA and how much he must provide evidence of what was told to him. But we know in typical Jamaica Labour Party fashion, they have no morals, they have no class. And so Jamaica, when you see persons within the Labour Party such as Dana Morris Dixon, who has the responsibility for education, is asking for evidence of blue movie, you know that the country is in shambles. When you see persons like the MP for Denham Town, Desmond Mackenzie, is calling on Mr. Mark Malava to present to the nation the evidence of blue movie of adults partaking in a behavior not fitting for the public eye, you know that our country is in serious, serious trouble. And so Jamaica, I get to understand that the Jamaica Teachers Association, the president, continue to stand firm. And before I even go any further, I would love for you guys to just take a listen to how things unfold within the Jamaica Teachers Association and within the press. Listen to this news clip, Jamaica, as we get into some serious discussion this afternoon.
Up first this evening, pressure is mounting for the Jamaica Teachers Association President Mark Malava to provide evidence to support his claim hurricane victims living in school shelters are indulging in inappropriate behavior in full view of students.
The Ministries of Education and Local Government have expressed shock at the allegation, adding that their shelter managers cannot substantiate the claim.
Kimberly Petty has the details in this primetime news follow-up.
It's been just over 24 hours since President of the JT, Mark Malava, made the worrying disclosure that hurricane victims residing in school shelters are having sex in clear view of students. The Ministry of Education says it has not received such reports. And when asked, Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris Dixon says Mr. Malava declined to name the school where the incident allegedly happened because the information was given to him in confidence.
The Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information wants to note that we do not have any official notification of any case of inappropriate behavior by shelterees, especially in circumstances involving children at any school being used as a shelter. And we have made many checks since Mr. Malava has made his public statement.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Cassandra, has gone further. She says she has asked for a report from all 8 principals where shelters are being operated, which should be available by Thursday. In the meantime, Local Government Minister Desmond Mackenzie says he is prepared to get the police involved.
If he has the evidence to produce it, because I've asked the police to investigate these allegations. And, you know, it is unfortunate that the circumstances that these people find themselves in, that the president of the JTA wants to undermine them and want to, you know, to treat them in a manner which is very disrespectful without providing the evidence.
And given that no shelter manager has reported any incident,
I am asking the president of the JTA if he cannot provide the information to apologize publicly for the disrespect and the disregard that he has demonstrated towards those persons in the shelters. It is rather unfortunate that somebody at that level can stoop that low without providing the evidence to substantiate the allegations.
Kimberly Petty for TVJ News.
There you hear TVJ making a thorough report on what seems to be an embarrassing moment yet again for the government of Jamaica heading into this weekend. There's not a weekend or a week that the government of Jamaica, the Jamaica Labour Party, governing party for this country, can catch a break. It gets worse, Jamaica. We want to highlight what is out there in the media, you know. So that was TVG. Now listen to what the affiliates at Nationwide have to say about the matter equally. Listen to them.
Here, you cannot just leave that there. So now the whole country is talking about it, you know. Everybody and them granny is talking about this matter. It's all over social media. Every stakeholder is taking up this matter as well because it's so shocking. What? Involve your students? What do you mean? NPTAJ has jumped in. I'm not sure, has the opposition jumped in yet?
Well, they did issue a statement through Natalie Nita Garvey yesterday afternoon.
The opposition spokesperson on local government has understandably jumped in. Everybody is trying to understand what the hell, what the dickens is taking place. What are you saying here? So I urge the JTA president this morning, Mark Malava, you need to say more on this matter, even if it is that you don't come to the public space and give us all the information, because we really don't need it. The persons who need it most are the authorities, the persons that can advance an investigation into this matter, having to do with the nation's children. Can you imagine if something really goes up? That children are in their classroom. I understand, you know, George, that so it's November, December, January, February, March, April. So we're entering month 6 in relation to shelteries being in schools. And the government has made a lot of efforts to try to get persons relocated. There's this rent program that I heard the local government minister talking about, and other persons have left. So they've come from like hundreds of people in shelters to now about 81, right? But understandably, people are eager to see everybody relocated and school plans return fully to the administrators at those institutions. And the matter is sensitive, fine, but it cannot be a case where you have somebody saying something like this, somebody that is a authoritative voice then, somebody who when them say something, you give it a certain level of credibility. Whoa, this is coming from the JTA president. You give it a certain level of credibility. He cannot just come and say something like that to all of us here and leave it there. So
the voice of Nationwide, completely in defense mode of the government. One time matters like these, when come to the fold, good journalists would jump in the vehicle and go to the scene and do them thorough investigation and have the information to give to the people. Here we have classic Nationwide News Network asking for the president to come out and divulge information that was disclosed to him in private. What happened to investigative journalism in this country? Once again, the fourth estate has failed, you know. Or is it now that this matter is taking precedence? What is it that we are left to uncover? Because equally the member for Denham Town, who has the responsibility for local government, Desmond Mackenzie, he too is sounding the alarm that he too wants to see the blue movie that is taking place. Can you imagine you send your children to school 8 o'clock and some parents like to send them pitney on time so they would arrive before 8, and your pitney them a walk in pan adults to have sex in a them classroom? And you have Dana Morris Dixon and Senator Marlon Morgan, and equally the member for Central Manchester, Rhoda Moy, 3 of them sitting at the Ministry of Education. And this is where we're at as a country. The matter was brought to the fold, and all the Ministry of Education seems to want to attack is the individual with the information. Instead, they come together as a government and act on the matter and work assiduously to get these persons out of the children's classroom. Their aim and focus is to deflect and to dissect a message that clearly left the government in embarrassment. Can you imagine people in a picnic classroom and a fan? Fan a blow upon them, you know. And the nation's teachers, you send your picnic to school, college or university, if you come out, come become something good in a life. And you're good picnic who took on the teaching profession of sit down outside under a tree, under a tent in a sun hat. While the Jamaica Labour Party have people sitting in a picnic classroom with fan blow upon them. And you, good college trained teacher and university graduate of the outside in a sun. This is the environment that the Labour Party has created for the people of this country, you know. This is the environment that the Jamaica Labour Party would have created. Can you imagine your pitney walking per adults in a them classroom and have sex? 6 months. And people still in a shelter. And Desmond McKenzie made it absolutely clear. See me here coming and tell me lie on them. He made plans when? Since the 5th of December 2025. They made it absolutely clear. So come the start of the new school term, which is January, he would ensure that all shelterees are out of the classrooms and shelter. We are now in our 6th month. Our 6th month. And here we are today, Jamaica. Here we are today. It gets worse because I don't know what this young lady name, but apparently she them put to maneuver G2K presidency. Remember the Shane Kerr guy? Him did have too much baga for him name. So every corner him take is like an eyesore to the public. You thief money, you rob up credit, you went to Tamarind Farm and you had a syndicate of young people. It wasn't a good look for Shane Carr. And so they came to the decision to replace G2K president with this young lady. But young lady, we don't really know nothing about you, you know, but you're off to a rocky start, my love. You are off to a rocky start, young lady, president of G2K. How is it that you, Madam President for the G2K, urging the Jamaica Teachers Association to provide relevant information to support shelter occupants' sex claim? Miss? So let me ask you something. Uno see, uno labor rights are uno the reason why persons who are victims of rape uno prevent certain persons from come share what them undergo, you know. Can you imagine you report a matter or you confide in somebody that you have been sexually assaulted, and the government of Jamaica, including G2K, wants those victims to divulge and provide evidence? This is the classic reason why persons, whenever they are victims of rape, they hold it and keep it to themselves for years. Can you imagine, Jamaica? It seems to me that these political minions that attach themselves to the Jamaica Labour Party have the same mindset. Is it that they are all reading from the same political script? I'm asking the question this afternoon. Because you would have thought that the elders them would have lost their way within the Labour Party, and here comes the youth arm G2K, who would have some form of modern day kind of mentality to have a different opinion. But it is clear that the old dinosaur them have shaped the mindset of G2K. Eh? Why is it that this young lady who says she's the president now of G2K, why she don't ask their government what happened to the container homes that they promised the people? Madam G2K president, you're off to a very rocky and wrong start. As the youth of the Jamaica Labour Party, you no feel like say you could have come out and ask, make a difference, and say you is a new president. Why you have to continue with the nasty legacy of those who were there before you, miss? Now, I'm bash because you soon hear them come bash say we no love woman, and we no this, and people no know them still they love deflect, you know. You soon hear them. Them a bash the girl, PNP no love woman, and PNP. No. It's not a matter of sexuality. It's not a matter of women in politics. The fact of the matter is, we are going to continue to hold these persons in authority with the utmost accountability. And so, it seems to me that G2K and Young Jamaica and the same Labour Party government, they have all mastered a strange art. They have mastered the art, you know. I better not tell me which art they master. These Labour rights, G2K, Young Jamaica, and of course, central government, the Jamaica Labour Party, they have mastered a very strange art. And that is to attack our whistleblowers while ignoring the fire that is out there. So you are ball out fire, you know. And instead, them go out the fire and come to a solution. They're ready for attack you. We are ball out. Say fire. I wonder if anybody hearing me this afternoon. This is the reason why people join me on a daily basis. Now, because when me talk in a language we no can understand. The Labour Party have mastered a very strange craft, and that is to attack the whistleblower. Can you imagine Mark Malava receive information, and not only him, the president of the Parent-Teacher Association also say he received information where these sexual acts are happening in the classroom in plain view of our students. So it seems to me that G2K and Young Jamaica and the governing Labour Party have all mastered a strange art, and that is to attack the whistleblowers while ignoring the cause. So you see one fire out there, and you are the whistleblower. And you are ball out fire, and instead they come and put out the fire, they might attack you. We are ball out, say see fire. That is exactly what is happening, you know. Mark Malava, the president of the Teachers Association, is bringing an issue to the fold. And instead, whether I want to go so yes or no, the issue is adults should have never been in the classroom. Look how long the storm blew. The government have received enough money to get them out of those classrooms. It has been 6 months. And the Prime Minister parade right across the country every minute he fly out. And persons are still living in shelters. What happened to the money? The Prime Minister could have shut in yai and just make up some one room and give the Jamaican people of ambition. If I'm to build up the 4 corner, make them put chapel in over it and go in. Day by day, months by months, and years to come, God will help them to put on a roof. Give them a start. You want to tell me if it's 6 months. And the Jamaica Labour Party is telling you and I to choose and continue to choose Jamaica. Of course, them choose Jamaica. They choose Jamaica, of course, but they never choose the people of Jamaica. There's a difference, you know. There's a big difference, my people listening to my voice. Of course, they would have asked you to choose Jamaica. And of course, the people them choose Jamaica. But did they choose the people of Jamaica? No, they didn't. And those are the difference. There is a difference to choose Jamaica or to choose the people of Jamaica. So instead of moving shelteries out of schools, they are busy shooting the messenger. Because it is clear that fixing the problem is harder than spinning it. This is what they're out there doing, spin the problem, spin the problem. I asked the president now if he can give them evidence. Them not successful with Dana Morris Dixon. Them send Desmond Mackenzie. Desmond Mackenzie realized that him a fight a losing battle. And now the narrative is now saying that Desmond Mackenzie is asking to see the pornography and the blue movie. So them fail on those attempts seeking the evidence. See them send out them a Tufenkeya, G2K. So it is clear Jamaica, instead of moving the shelteries out of the schools, the Jamaica Labour Party, they are very much busy trying to shoot down the messenger. Because why? Fixing the problem, to them. Fixing the problem is harder than spinning it. So it is easy for them to spin the narrative and cast aspersions and blame elsewhere than to fix the blasted problem. Me telling you something, not gonna know no peace in that third term here, In Corinne Griffiths, Sexy Princess a laugh. These labor rights shall know absolutely no peace within this third term. No peace. They should endure within this third term. Why G2K don't tell them government to go and build shelters for those living in the schoolroom, rather than asking for evidence of adults having sexual relationship inside the classroom? What kind of people them here? What kind of people are these? What we are actually witnessing in Jamaica is a very dangerous trend in this country, where G2K, Young Jamaica, Nationwide News Network, the central government Jamaica Labour Party, all seem to join forces to discredit and to bring down and to demonize everyone and anyone who raises concerns about the affairs of this country. This is how dictatorship starts, But a pity they don't know, say we more than them. Labor rights, you don't realize that we the people more than you. We the people, I'm going to repeat it, because me feel like what I say a while ago, fly over a lot of persons' head, What we are actually witnessing in this country is a dangerous trend. Where these people, G2K and Young Jamaica, Nationwide News Network, and of course, central government, the governing Labour Party, all they seem to do is to join forces together to discredit and bring down and demonize everyone who raises concern about the affairs of the country. This is exactly how dictatorship starts. But we are more than them, Jamaica. We are more than them. What happened to investigative journalism? As a Nationwide News Network was sit down on ocean front and information just dropping at them lap, so? You know why they are behaving like this, Jamaica? Because Abka Fitz-Henley, Senator Big Back Marlon Morgan, all of them, that is what they do at Nationwide, sit down upon them laurels and information dropping at them lap and then push out the narrative and spin the narrative and the propaganda instead of get up off of them thinking backside and go out there in the field and do the investigative journalism and find out exactly what is happening. No, they rather sit there and to make matters worse, who knows if Dana Morris Dixon must give them a charge to spin this. And if you no spin it and spin it good, we will award you with next outside broadcast. We don't put it far from them, because me I wonder how nationwide I get all of the government outside broadcasts. Several radio stations in this country, and instead it is split evenly across the airwaves. It is always nationwide news network on the go with outside broadcasts. So could it be that Dana Morris Dixon and Marlon Morgan and of course, I don't know when I'm going to get used to Rhoda Moy Crawford sitting as a state minister. Quite unfitting. But anyway, you have to reward those who do the things them and do the dirty work for you. I just saw it go. We're talking about the politics of the labor rights. You do them dirty work and you manage to make them cross over, you will be rewarded with position. Whether you win, draw, or lose. That is the hallmark and the mantra of the Labour Party. But we want to ask them this afternoon, what happened to investigative journalism? The fourth estate has failed again in this country, where you have persons like a Tana Thomas and a George Dave. Where is Cliff Hughes? Because we don't hear from him all weekend. I wonder if he ain't gone back in the hospital. Make I don't go there because then it come for me and say me I wish this and me I wish this. But with all of them atrocities with them are going with a nationwide, some are not fit dead, Some are only done a nationwide fit dead with all of the atrocities on are put out on the people. Some are not fit dead. That is the only way Jamaica go get little peace and quiet in our soul. So we want to know with Cliff Hughes, because all week we not hear from him and we are wondering if he gone back in the hospital. We now wish no bad for nobody, but good God Almighty. Sometimes God have to put their hand on some people. God Almighty have to put in hand on some of we. Some of we, God have to fall up some of we and put we down one place. And we don't know if it happen to why name? Why name Cliff Hughes? God have to fall up and put down some of we one place, because the propaganda Jamaica and the misleading and the misinformation have to come to an end. You want to tell me, say, Tana Thomas sit down there, on the waterfront. As a matter of fact, I want to get money from move from Uptown Ghana Digicel headquarters. Is it that the government is funding you guys that well? You have a right for always spin the information for the government, because to me look like a them a pay on rent, a them a keep on afloat. Or I forget say the member for Eastern St. Andrew. She have shares in a nationwide. Yeah, her name did as a shareholder, Faval Williams. So and with she being the finance minister, I see Jamaica people. But one thing with the Labour Party, the Labour rights try to, everywhere they try to justify a bad decision. But them people are really delusional, They are really delusional. Imagine, only see the state of what is happening in the classroom, and instead of shut it down and put an end to it, and find the root cause. Uno are called to see the evidence of the Blue movie. And these persons are delusional. Completely delusional. Why isn't G2K, this girl, asked Desmond Mackenzie to remove the shelteries from out of the school? Why she not asked for that? Where are the video clips? Speaking of video clips, where the video clip them there of the Prime Minister and Colonel Charles Jr. and of course Desmond Mackenzie making it absolutely clear that structures will be available for the shelteries. Where are the container homes? Bad to bad, me see the PNP are try them best 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Then try as much as they in opposition. Me see the opposition 1 and 2 container house, me see pan tractor and trailer deliver in the west. Wow, me not see one massive container distribute. Remember them in a government and them have the resources for do the things them, for bring in things, get the tax exempt, and the poor opposition manage for do it, No care how great or small, at least we see the opposition do something where 1 and 2 people are get them container home. Where is the government container homes? Why this girl not come ask Desmond Mackenzie? Remember him the minister, of local government. Him responsible for shelteries. And you want to tell me, say you come out big, bad and strong, but these shelteries will be out of the classrooms for the new term, January 1st. We are now in April. And so many persons still in the shelter. This government has failed the people. And rightfully so, they have chosen Jamaica, but they have not chosen the people of Jamaica. Is this the stance of G2K? G2K should be visiting the location to see that what solution they can provide. Instead, this lady come new and fresh on the scene, and instead she come with a difference. She come with the same nasty, dirty thinking mentality of the former member president of G2K. What is wrong with these people? This girl should have packed up her Dulcimina. Them have the resources and journey to Westmoreland and Western Jamaica and the location and get to see exactly what no. Them sit down there and then spin narrative instead of me telling you, the Jamaica Labour Party is like you are see one fire burn. And you are the whistleblower, you are ball out, fire. And instead, they rush to the fire and put out the fire. They might come to you, the whistleblower, we are ball. Where is the fire? I am not seeing the fire. Since you're talking about the fire, can you take me to the fire? Do you drive a car? I am not going to walk to the fire. Can you take me to this fire that you're speaking about? That is how the Jamaica Labour Party operate. Classic Jamaica Labour Party. And they are in their third term. Total defense mode by G2K. It's not a good strategy, young lady. Not a good strategy for leadership. G2K, likewise, young Jamaica. They are either shadow government or they are in opposition. Everything them oppose. It seems to me that they are in the opposition, because everything then come out and oppose. It look like another PNP in opposition. It look like a PNP a lead the country and them in opposition. Every minute you see them come out, a lie, not no go so. Show us the evidence and then oppose. It seems to me that the PNP is in government and the Labour Party, G2K and Young Jamaica is in the opposition, because all they seems to do is to come out and oppose, lie, we are tell, provide everything them oppose. It seems to me that the PNP is the one that is running the country. Yeah. But I get to understand that the member for Denham Town have given yet again another date to relocate. Remember, I give them one date, the 3rd of December, And give them one second date, January 1st. Well, 4 months later, see him come yesterday and say, by the 8th of May, which is next month. Yes? That is the deadline to relocate Hurricane Melissa shelteries. I want to ask, since as you did identify shelter and you have an alternative, now that the pressure is mounting, Desmond, have you finally give these sheltery a roof over their heads? Or no get the billions and we not see what use the billions to do. People have it for so no save it for run local government election, and we can't say different because we not give no evidence of the houses a deliver and a handout to the people. Then whether container, one room or board house, whatever the case may be, we see the PNP a issue out container home, we see the PNP a handover house. We no see the Jamaica Labour Party, all me see is chaos. And who now get 75,000, I get 100, 200, and 500,000. That's all we are see take place, you know. And so Jamaica, I want to ask them, persons who get the 75,000 and the 100,000 and the 200 and 500,000, it would make, me telling you, yesterday, you know, see a 14,500 for 100 black. It would make sense. You buy 100 black, or 200 black, or 300 black. 300 or 400 black no cost 75,000. And you buy about 400 black and make one foundation. And give the people them and say, see me go and start. They come labor rights. Make me sit down a little bit with you know. It would make sense if you no put few local quarry and Carib cement and who have hardware and arbor that is sturdy economy. And provide these people with 100 black, 200 black, 300 black, 400 black for the 75,000. Yeah? And say, see here, I go into a foundation, whether I no one build it up with board and cover it with chop, at least give them a foundation. Good afternoon, Auntie Tiny. Welcome, darling. This is where we're at, you know, Jamaica 6 months later, and people sit down in a classroom and the Labour Party have billions. Well, see, Desmond come out yet again with another date. This time, him say by the 8th of May, all shelterees will be out of the nation's school. Well, left to see Desmond, because I want to know what is your role. You're investigator, you're police, or you mean you get police involved as the minister with responsibility for local government? Who is responsible for the shelters? Yeah? Instead, you focus on your job. You go notify police. You're investigator. You work with Ministry of National Security. You need to act on a role. That are no problem. Too much overlapping in the ministries. Your responsibility is to get persons back on their feet, provide them with a stable house over them head. Instead, you are seeking the attention from the security forces to investigate. That is not your job, Desmond. That is not the job of the Minister of Local Government. But anyway, Jamaica, we left to see the outcome of this matter. The 8th of May, say, well, let us see when the 8th of May finally comes. Because this is another disgrace within the Ministry of Education. And I saw where the minister came out and tried to recuse herself. But the president of the JTA came out and said that he had a personal conversation with the minister. I'm sure persons heard the clip on the news where Mr. Mark Malava made it absolutely clear that he brought the matter to the minister himself. So how is it that Dana Morris Dixon and the entire Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information is reporting that they were unaware, nobody reached out to them, and they are totally clueless? Totally clueless on the matter. But you have the president of the JTA is coming out at their annual teachers conference to make it absolutely clear that he personally reached out to the Minister of Education, Dana Morris Dixon, and had a one-on-one with her. These persons have absolutely no shame. Absolutely no shame. And here they're making statements referring to Malava that the ministry wishes to note that at this time it still has not received a formal report from the JTA or any other party that speaks to the specificity of the allegations. The ministry is not in receipt of the name of the school, the date, or the names of persons involved in the alleged incident. So here we have Dana Morris Dixon is calling to see the Blue movie. She wants to see the star of the Blue movie, and she wants to know the production team, the location. These people don't have no shame, you know. Imagine you send your pitney go to school 8 o'clock and your pitney walk in from big adults that have sex in a classroom in a sun hat and a fan. And your teacher, where you send go university, have to outside to the elements in a sun a teaching a pitney, while Desmond Mackenzie and the Labour Party have shelteries, still in the nation's classroom have sex and a fan. In a sun hat. And these persons, including the Minister of Education, is telling us this afternoon, say up to now she no get no name, she no get no location. Why she asks for the date? So she too is asking for evidence of the Blue movie, you know. She want name, that means she want know who star the Blue movie. She want the date the incident happened, so that means that she want to know the date of the production when the look you know no one go down in it, you know. What an absolute shame. See there, 1, 2, 3, the third paragraph. For those of us who have eyes to read, labor rights to no read no ministers. Read one of ministers, 3 ministers who have one. I served on a ministry of education and none of the 3 of them make one. Every corner then turn, Makajuk them. Then about the Senator Big Back, Makajuk him. Poor Dana Morris Dixon, Lord Jesus. The sensiblest one Rhoda Crawford, I'll know she know fear mouth. I'll know she know fear mouth. The 3 of them down there at the Ministry of Education cannot make one. And this is what you guys are paying them for. Marlon alone I get 16 million. An absolute disgrace to the country. But anyway, I am not surprised. We're talking about the Labour Party. And of course, they must reward those who would have fought the dirty battles for them. Moving on, my lovely people, we have more pressing matters to worry about other than to sit and worry about the laborer. Come, you, we say you're responsible for health. I don't know what this man waiting on to resign, you know. Them I know I no shame in Jamaica, and the more the things them come out about them, and the more them sit down there dance to the music. Can you imagine Jamaica? We continue to have mothers turning up to hospitals and leaving without their children. Yes, you heard me right. Mothers turning up at our hospitals and leaving without their children. And we have a Minister of Health that made it clear that our health facilities are up to par. I heard a very disturbing matter where a lady went to have her baby and this corridor to the west corridor, 9 months in labor. And when she finally get to the west wing to do her delivery, no doctor assigned to her. Apparently, she only had one incompetent nurse who knows nothing about labor. The lady says she had to be holding one of her legs and the nurse holding a mother in labor and she has to be holding her own legs. Eh? The testimony of the lady said that the nurse put her hand within the vagina, and that was when the water broke. So that means the lady water never broke naturally, you know, as God ordained it to be. The nurse pushed her under the lady vagina and break the lady water. Anyway, it seems as though the baby was laying in the passage for almost an hour. Can you imagine a baby lying in the vagina right there for almost an hour with all of those contractions that the mother is facing? The baby was there for too long. You mean to tell me, say Jamaica not equipped anymore to do a C-section? If you realize, say, a mother is having complication with a natural birth, the other method is to give her, sedate her, put her to sleep, and put her under the knife. But was there a doctor provided for this mother? The lady would have been to her prenatal clinics, so like she's a careless mother, no know when her pitney are born. She showed up, she eat right, she have her baby nursery well set to bring home back her baby, and this is the outcome. This is the outcome, Jamaica. Well, I'm getting to understand that the opposition spokesperson on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, and the MP for Southeast St. Catherine have spoken out on the matter. And I want you to listen to someone who actually cares, somebody who actually knows what is happening in the health sector. And so, Dr. Christopher Tufton, the Minister of Health, I want you to listen carefully to the expert. And it seems as though the blame is laid squarely at the feet of Christopher Tufton. I don't know why this man, or what is he waiting on to resign, but Jamaica, listen to what the news have to say, and then we listen to Dr. Alfred Dawes. Listen to this carefully, Jamaica.
In other news now, there is grief and anger tonight at Cornwall Regional Hospital. 33-year-old Shandale Ballantyne and her partner Ramon Ranger say they are not satisfied with doctors' explanation for the death of their newborn on Friday. The couple is calling it negligence, pointing to delays in urgent care and a lack of critical equipment at the facility. Natasha Williams has the details. That's the desperate plea of a mother whose dream was to walk out of a hospital hugging her newborn baby, but instead she left empty-handed. A horrible ordeal the first-time mom, Shandale Ballantyne, describes as the worst day of her life, as she now struggles to live with those memories after losing her baby at the Cornwall Regional Hospital on Good Friday. Ballantyne recalls the moments after learning that her baby, who she named Ramonte Rakai Ranger, had died.
When you think me here, all right, we just say no way. No.
Ballantyne says that the bruises on Little Ranger's body were indicative that he fought a good fight, but also suffered through the ordeal.
They say that they're doing their investigation and it will take about 40 days. But I still don't hear why really cause the baby if he stop breathing, cause him they say him born a breed me like traumatizing because you're like you feel worthless, you feel like you feel.
Ramonte's father agrees that if the attention they received after Ballantyne's complication was rendered during her height of labor pain and desperate pleas, the baby could have survived.
She was in delivery like for 4 hours with only one nurse. it was only at the last stages when she had like 2 more assistants with her. That is when the baby come out of her belly. So if it was treated like an emergency from the initial stage, from the baby stuck, and they get all the help that is necessary and required, the baby would still be alive right now.
Ramonte, who would have been Ramon's third child but first son, has already held a special place in his heart.
As a man, a whole generation that just take with fire. You know what I mean? We are prepared for life. We do everything. We have a whole room where we set for the baby, nurse, everything. You know what I mean? Really devastating to the mind, but we just have to stay strong.
Since the baby's passing, the Western Regional Health Authority has expressed deep regret over the outcome and has extended condolences to the family while promising urgent review into the matter. Though the parents were advised to take legal actions, they want to refocus their energy on the baby's funeral, getting answers, and healing.
I hope say this will save some other mothers from going through the same ordeal. We know say it not really bring back the baby, but we know say go save future babies, and if this save me if you ever get blessed to have one next baby again, you know, say you know have to go through this again.
Natasha Williams, CVM News.
In the meantime, opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, has issued an immediate call for an independent inquiry into the death of baby Ramonte Rakai Ranger, while squarely placing the responsibility at the feet of Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton.
This tragedy is a direct consequence of 9 years of neglect and a culture of no accountability from the minister. His consistent pattern of denying involvement and deflecting blame must end.
Dr. Dawes, while expressing condolence to the child's mother, is calling Dr. Tufton's response to the matter a calculated exercise in evasion and a sign of poor leadership.
No mother should ever suffer what Miss Ballantyne has endured, and no Jamaican should suffer because a minister refuses to lead. I am unsparing in my assessment of Minister Tufton's public response. It is a calculated exercise in evasion, promising an investigation while offering no acceptance of ministerial responsibility. Dr. Tufton has once again retreated behind process rather than demonstrating leadership.
CVM News at 7 returns after this break.
Can you imagine Jamaica? When I listen to what the Minister of Health said about the matter, and when I listen to what the opposition spokesperson on health had to say, there is no comparison between the two to show that this man on the screen needs to leave representational politics. He has absolutely no sense. No sense. Good afternoon, Auntie Sharon. Big up yourself. I soon go to Eastern St. Thomas. You just wait a little bit. Because some things are going in a Eastern St. Thomas. And you must feel like, say, you I go give me good rose shaw basket for carry water. No crazy. I soon come to Eastern St. Thomas. Stick around. But yes, Jamaica, there is no sympathy given by the Minister of Health. It's not his first rodeo. It's not the first time. Whenever matters like this happen, instead of take the responsibility as the Minister of Health, he points finger and casts the blame. And I got to tell you about investigation. Investigate me foot. You know, hear the woman say not even the scissors not sharp enough to do a C-section. That is a matter of the minister. That is a matter of the administration, the health ministry. How is it possible that a mother turned up to the hospital and she would have visiting prenatal clinic, she take her vitamins, she eat well, right up to 38 weeks, 9-month pregnancy, a healthy baby, the mother is healthy, the baby is healthy, and now it come to the crucial time. You mean to tell me that not even a doctor was assigned? You mean to tell me you have persons who say them a nurse? I go tell the lady say she need to hurry up. Nature is taking its course. God Almighty is doing what he does best. And you as a nurse is going to tell the mother to hurry up because your shift done? What is this, Jamaica? What is this man waiting on to go? You are going to tell the mother when she asks, cut me, and take it, cut, because the baby has stuck in the vagina passage for far too long. You as a nurse, a single, me not even want to blame the single nurse, but that nurse who came and make it known to the mother, say she need to hurry up because her shift done. And Lord God Almighty, you can't even blame them sometimes because they're not getting them overtime money. I can understand when your time come to go, you want to go home because you know, say if you do an extra, they're not paying you for it. This is the reason why persons must go to nursing school and be trained so that they can have sympathy. This is the reason why you put persons in the cabinet who have a knowledge or some background. Because clearly if Christopher Tufton did have some form of medical background, he would have handled the Ministry of Health in a different way. You can't want to tell me, say you have so many nurses out there want employment and the schedule is short. Why is it that so many nurses depend so many days off? So much so that one nurse was available. Is it normal for just one nurse to be assigned? Is it normal for one nurse to be assigned to a mother during delivery? And at what point is a doctor required? Okay, we know some nurses are equipped to deliver babies, but is it okay for just one nurse to assign? When I listen to the mother says she did have one. Remember, can you imagine you're in labor? Contraction, a lick your left, right, and center. She's a first-time mother, which means it's not like she have pitney before so she can know what to expect. It is her first time. And you mean to tell me that the government of Jamaica did not saw it fit to provide this woman? This woman must sue the government of Jamaica. Yes. I don't think it is right for you as a mother. For the past 9 months, you abide by everything you learn at prenatal clinic. You eat right, you exercise, you make sure say yourself is healthy. And what is good about this situation is that the lady have her common law husband next to her. He's a father. So he was not a sperm donor to doing thing and then bust off left the woman. He is right there with her. So that means that this baby was going to be born in love and nature and the admonition of both parents. And the Jamaica Labour Party has robbed not only the father, but the mother of such right. This is unacceptable and untenable of the minister. It is so bad that the nurse who stood out and was there throughout the ordeal, when the poor mother, they say, if he cut me, and take the picnic, she cannot go any further. The nurse is going to let the mother know, you know why I use this as scissors? Yeah, it dull. Whose fault is it that our institution have these faulty equipment? Isn't that a matter of the minister? Isn't that a matter of the minister? Eh? Well, Jamaica, I want you to listen to the full interview of Dr. Dawes and how responsible he is. He laid the blame squarely at the feet of Dr. Christopher Tufton, and rightfully so. Let us listen the full interview by the member for Southeast St. Catherine, Dr. Alfred Dawes. This is what he has to say about the matter.
Released from the People's National Party Mandeville Union.
Today, I am making a call for an immediate independent inquiry into the death of baby Ramonte Rakai Ranger at the Cornwall Regional Hospital on Good Friday, and squarely placing the responsibility at the feet of Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton. This tragedy is a direct consequence of 9 years of neglect and a culture of no accountability from the minister. His consistent pattern of denying involvement and deflecting blame must end. The unfinished corridors of Cornwall Regional Hospital are monuments to this government's failed leadership. Jamaica deserves action, not another PR moment. I am feeling profound sorrow for Shandale Ballantyne, the 33-year-old first-time mother who left Cornwall Regional Hospital on what should have been the most joyful day of her life, instead returning home without her child. No mother should ever suffer what Miss Ballantyne has endured, and no Jamaican should suffer because a minister refuses to lead. I am unsparing in my assessment of Minister Tufton's public response. It is a calculated exercise in evasion, promising an investigation while offering no acceptance of ministerial responsibility. Dr. Tufton has once again retreated behind process rather than demonstrating leadership. It is a pattern, not only familiar, but dangerous. The numbers tell a damning story. Cornwall Regional Hospital's long overdue renovation has ballooned from an initial $2 billion to more than $23.5 billion, with no completed facility to show for it. Nearly a decade of delays, cost overruns, and mismanagement have left one of Jamaica's most critical health institutions structurally and functionally compromised. The death of baby Ramonte is not an isolated incident, but an inevitable consequence of sustained institutional failure under this administration. The minister has been at the helm of Jamaica's health system for a decade. He cannot separate himself from its failures. Accountability is not optional for those who seek power. It is the price of leadership. I am again calling for a transparent, independent inquiry into the circumstances surrounding baby Ramonte's death and a full audit of systemic failures within the Western Region Health Authority. I am pledging today to pursue this matter in Parliament and through every available avenue until answers and accountability are delivered to the people of Jamaica and all sufferers of the inadequate health care that is delivered in our public health system. As the nation mourns alongside Ms. Ballantyne, the opposition will not allow this tragedy to be managed, minimized, or forgotten.
At pnp.org.jm or check us out on Facebook at Jamaica PNP.
Now there you have someone who continued to display the attitude and the attributes of a caring minister. Where is the sitting minister who has the responsibility for health care in this country? All he does is point fingers. At what point in time you are going to take accountability? Is it the nurses and the doctors' fault they don't have materials to use in the hospitals? And I bet you, Jamaica, if you push the matter, he's going to say, oh, well, is the institution and who is running the CEO did not provide us with a list. And then the poor CEO, then when them have run these hospitals, poor thing them probably write requests and write requisition form till then tired. I bet you, Jamaica, if the matter should be investigated, it will all boils down. Christopher Tufton will be so quick to tell you, oh, we were not aware because they at the hospital did not send a requisition that they need sharper scissors as they need this or they need that. I guarantee you he is going to lay the blame squarely at whoever runs the board at whichever hospital this took place. Classic Christopher Tufton. It is not the nurses' fault they don't have sharp equipments. It is not the doctor's fault. It is the government of Jamaica. In this particular case, Christopher Tufton, who the Prime Minister saw fit, don't know why I'm seeing you to give you such a ministry, but he gave you the opportunity to make a difference. What difference has Christopher Tufton bring to healthcare since he took the realm? 2016. I want to know, you know. Because I cannot understand how is it possible a government continue to say them a build hospital when the existing ones are overburdened. If we cannot manage the existing hospitals where we have, how no I go manage brand new state-of-the-art hospitals wanna say is under construction? That's all this Labour Party does is PR stunt. Eh? You cannot manage what is happening currently in our hospitals. But you gone ahead, gone build brand new hospitals. Which hospital? Wanna make a Spanish Town? Wanna go make a Portmore? Cornwall Regional bill? All while the current hospital. Why isn't it that Christopher Tufton never looking at himself and say, let me put some of these resources back into these hospitals, give them a facelift, uplift them. Not no wrong with the hospital them, you know. Not no wrong with the hospital them. Put on few new wing pan them, modernize them, upgrade the equipments. Instead of digging foundation to build brand new, me hear big Prime Minister say them are going to build a brand new KPH. What wrong with doing a KPH? That's all KPH need is a facelift. Take out the old bed them and the old material. You know see how Isaac Buchanan give Port Antonio some good electric bed. Nobody now use the old spring bed them a crank up. What the government needs to do is to modernize the existing health facilities that we have. Simple. Instead of going break ground, for PR stunt for so no do. That is it, you know. That's all the Labour Party is doing. Is breaking grounds to start construction. So that's when the PNP take office, they have something to say, see there, we did start it and we this. That's all them are doing, you know, trying to have a legacy. 3 term it take them to get Cornwall Regional off the ground after Mama P left the resources and the funding there. This government is an absolute disgrace. Jamaica, moving on. I would have gotten to understand that Eastern St. Thomas, Member of Parliament, the Honorable Rosemary Shaw, have broken her silence as to what is happening in the Port Morant division. Peer flood. And it seems to me like it is a result of the Jamaica Labour Party negligence and the road work where them say them are do heading to Portland. The amount of business people have to shut down them business because everywhere flood out in Port Morant. Well, Jamaica, I want you to listen to the Honorable Member for Eastern St. Thomas, Rosemary Shaw, and how she is calling out the National Works Agency and the Jamaica Labour Party, Government of Jamaica, their actions towards the flooding in Port Morant. Listen to the member for Eastern St. Thomas, Rose Shaw.
I would like to appeal to Mr. Stephen Shaw, Communications Manager of the National Works Agency, to stop misleading the public on the flooding that took place at the various locations on the Southern Coastal Highway in Eastern St. Thomas. What happened on Wednesday in terms of flooding has never happened in the history. Many business operators, homeowners, and the service providers were affected in the worst way ever. They are left now reeling from the effects of losing millions of dollars. What seems to be happening now is that the National Works Agency Communications Manager is more reactive than proactive. Based on a news item aired on Radio Jamaica this morning, the matter of flooding in the Port Morant Square, Bowden Crossing, and Hardley Crossing are long-standing issues that needed proper engineering guidance to correct the problems. Where is the evidence of this? Instead, the situation has gotten worse. The water is taken off the road and is now channeled into properties, flooding businesses and homes, now affecting persons' lives, livelihood, and threatening economic growth and stability. The Fish Cove in the vicinity of the Lethal area is in operation for almost 30 years and has never experienced this kind of flooding that took place on Wednesday due to the work being done by China Harbour Limited. That location, the operator of the establishment, had to close its doors to the public. So many businesses in the Port Morant areas also crippling economic activities. Who is going to compensate these persons? There was no plan to dredge the Ward River in the vicinity. I personally spoke with the engineer in October of last year and was told spec was not in the scope of work. I am once again appealing to the technocrats of the National Works Agency and China Harbour Engineering Limited not to just construct roads and look about road surface. Please correct the problems by cleaning the rivers, dredging the rivers, and correct the drainage problem. If this is not done, the matter will be further compounded. Stop being defensive and stop the grandstanding and the PR. People's lives and properties matter.
The voice of the Honorable Member for Eastern St. Thomas. This is why we put her in the position, so she could speak on the behalf of Eastern St. Thomas, and rightfully so. She's doing absolutely wonders. Huh? Can you imagine? NWA, the National Works Agency, this big highway, thanks to Porsche, gonna rub up the money, and from the rub up the money, I pay to Fenke, you know, have a work on the highway, and mash up people's stability in a Eastern St. Thomas, you know, have to fix the problem. Because Mama P never bargained for this with Uno. Who is going to compensate these persons' property? Uno a cut road, and uno no know how Eastern St. Thomas, uno no know how Paul Bogle set up in parish. But uno come a cut road and a cut into the middle of nowhere. And as rain fall, it flood out the people them property in a Eastern St. Thomas. Well, Stephen Shaw, the honorable member for St. Thomas Eastern, is telling you to come and dredge the river and channel these waters elsewhere, because it is the China Harbor Engineering Company that the Labour Party get to disturb the peace in Eastern St. Thomas and wake up the river and the belly woman. Yes, and Paul Bogle did not give you the authority or lay no blueprint as to where and where not to cut. So we are asking Stephen Shaw and the member for North Central Clarendon, Nestor Morgan, who is the Minister of Public Works, to come and address the plight to the people of Eastern St. Thomas. According to the member, Rosemary Shaw, businesses have to close and persons' livelihoods have been taken away from them. Good afternoon, Mommy. Little miss, big up yourself. So St. Thomas Eastern, the Member of Parliament, is asking the relevant authority, starting with Stephen Shaw, the National Works Agency, and of course the North Central Clarendon Minister of Public Works, Nestor Morgan, to address this matter with urgency. Place flood out, everywhere flood out as a result of the road work. Mama P never tell you if he cut the road, yes sir, but you know come and cut it out and I go, look here now, no fix St. Thomas problem. Fix the problem. Yeah, third term you no want, third term you no get. And we now ease up in the third term. Sit down pan them neck, Rose Shaw. We demand the answers. And so every member from Eastern St. Thomas wants some answers this afternoon. The people of Portmorant. The people of Portmorant is upset. The matter must be addressed in the shortest of time. Now, Jamaica, I don't know what's wrong with the labor rights them. Make them won't have little shame. According to what I gathered, they would have find absolutely nothing on Dennis Gordon, the member for East Central St. Andrew. But for whatever it is worth, they're asking Dennis Gordon to come and return, come sit before Ethics Committee. Mind you, he was there before. Them find nothing wrong. And so Jamaica, the opposition is of course sounding the alarm, because we not gonna make nobody bully we members and cast no propaganda. And so Philip Paulwell, who is the leader of opposition business, is questioning the matter as to who authorized UNO to bring back what would have already discussed and achieved and signed off on. So Jamaica, I want you to listen to the leader of government business, Philip Paulwell, and what he has to say about the Ethics Committee and them wanting to revisit what was already signed off on. So listen carefully to what Philip Paul will have to say on the matter.
Is a release from the People's National Party Indian Unit.
This is Philip Paulwell, the leader of opposition business in the House of Representatives. I wish to raise serious concerns regarding the Ethics Committee's reported decision to summon my colleague, Member of Parliament Dennis Gordon, to reappear before the committee. This is despite the fact that the matter in question has already been fully considered and approved by the House of Representatives. Let me be clear. The Ethics Committee had already examined the exemption request, reported its findings to the House, and the House subsequently approved the motion. Once that process has been completed, the committee's role in that matter is effectively concluded. Any attempt to revisit it must be grounded in a clearly defined new breach and a proper referral from the House. This point has also been raised by a member of the Ethics Committee, Member of Parliament Franklin Whittle. The current approach raises serious questions about consistency and procedural fairness. This is especially troubling in light of ongoing concerns about the uneven functioning of parliamentary committees. We cannot have a system where some matters are treated differently from others without proper justification. Furthermore, I must criticize the decision to handle this matter in a public forum. The Ethics Committee traditionally operates with a degree of confidentiality. That convention exists for good reason, to protect the integrity of its proceedings and the reputations of those involved. We cannot have a system where procedures are selectively applied or where settled matters are reopened without a clear basis. That undermines both the authority of the House and the public confidence in its oversight mechanisms. The opposition is therefore calling for clarity on the scope of the committee's actions and for strict adherence to established parliamentary rules. The integrity of our democratic processes depends on it.
At pnp.org.jm or check us out on Facebook at Jamaica PNP.
So what Member Paulwell is saying, the matter concerning Dennis Gordon was already ventilated in the House. They give it its stamp of approval to go ahead and conduct business with University Hospital. For whatever went down, it is clear that the man never thief no money. He did absolutely nothing wrong. Why is it that the Jamaica Labour Party wants to revisit this matter and bring the honourable member for East Central St. Andrew to the Ethics Committee? And why is it that the Labour Party wants this Ethics Committee to be public? Based on what Philip is saying, when you bring somebody to the Ethics Committee, it's supposed to be a private matter. Why is it that when it comes on to the People's National Party, the labor rights are always on a witch hunt to demonize? Why? Is it that so much is happening within the government or continue to hold on to this matter? It is not going anywhere. He never thief nobody money. He never thief no equipment from nobody. He was given the authority through customs. Customs say, okay, since as it is a problem, pay the money. In paying $12 million. What is the problem with the Labour Party? One drag the man before Ethics Committee for? And then when you look at who chair the Ethics Committee, persons like a Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, with fear rotten mouth and bad word mouth, what she know about ethics? But you want to carry people before Ethics Committee. What I would love for the People's National Party to do, and this is my advice, because it is clear that the Labour Party is on a witch hunt. The People's National Party must demand clarity. Listen me now. The PNP for demand clarity as to why persons like Xavier Meehan are Wells, Christopher Tufton, Daryl Vaz, the Prime Minister Andrew Holness, the Clerk Colleen Lowe, Heveral Warmington, Marissa Dalrymple, and it's so much. Let me see if I can remember anymore. Dana Van Williams. Why is it that they continue sitting in the house and they are all in front of the ethics committee? Only remember, all of them when me call, Andrew Holness is before the ethics committee, Good afternoon, Yvonne Wilson. A pleasant good afternoon to all my comrades down there locked in. Yes? From Rocky Point Division. The word is love always. Bobby Montague, I forget that one too. All of them is before the ethics committee. And all of them matters are being treated privately. Why is it that you know want Dennis Garden matter to be publicized for YouTube and PBCJ and you know think like a dog? I know one root tune in that blessed look at me Sabbath soon start. Eh? Can you imagine Ivan Riley? Can you imagine? Look the amount of them. The PNP need to demand. Yes, and demand clarity. What is going on with these matters that is in front of the ethics committee? And you not hear nothing about them, including the Prime Minister. Donovan Williams, Marissa Dalrymple, Xavier Meehan. Remember Xavier Meehan the other day, the Integrity Commission and the public prosecutor, whatever they call themselves, say he must be charged, His matter is before the court. His matter is before the ethics committee, and here none of them are asked. So we are asking the People's National Party to demand and grant us an update as to what is going on. We need clarity as to why persons like Xavier Meehan, Christopher Tufton, Daryl Vaz, Andrew Holness, even the very clerk of the House, Colleen Lowe, Everal Warmington, Marissa Dalrymple, Donovan Williams. Why is it that all of these persons continue to sit in the house and they are also equally in front of the ethics committee? That is what we want to know this afternoon. But we don't want to ridicule Dennis Garden like Dennis Garden thief, nothing for you know. Dennis thief, nothing for you know. When we couldn't go bring the three company them before the ethics committee, which part the university hospital bringing the things them for them tax free. And the same university hospital go buy back. Can you imagine you buy one bulla for $10 and you come buy back the bulla 10 times the cost? And you bring in the bulla, for smaddy. And you know, so you bring it in for $10 for them. And you are going to come in, compare $1,000 for the bulla. And them something you know, if you go dig up and bring before ethics committee. But you know what, me glad me never ridicule Dennis Garden from morning. Comrades, me I ask you, when you see them damning allegations that come out about the PNP, sit down and watch carefully and watch the ride. He swing from Nationwide, then he swing to Marlon, then he swing to Abka, then he go this way, and then try to milk the situation to create a narrative. And when tell truth come, they would have destroyed and damaged one's character. And when the truth come, who for shame end up a walk with their head high in the sky, and you the victim that they would have ridiculed get nothing. I am not going to put down Dennis Garden. Mark Jefferson Golden, my good leader, saying if he step aside from the PAC, and respectfully he would have done so. When you question the matter further, the man no do absolutely nothing wrong. Any wrongdoing under Christopher Tufton happen. I am the Minister of Health and I him have a say in the matters that govern the University Hospital of the West Indies. Next. Speaking of Dennis Garden, I realized that the member for Portland Eastern would have came out and he would have gave his own version as to what is happening. And when I hear ISAT put things into perspective. I said, that is it, member. One thing we don't know, you know, no can't trick the PNP. The PNP, them have sense and them bright and them full of the education and nobody can take them, turn them kuno. Jamaica people, Eastern Portland MP break his silence on the Jack Den matter and including the Dana Morris Dixon, Senator Big Back Marlon Morgan and Rhoda Moy Crawford Ministry of Education. And how them handle the allegations pertaining to the adults and their misconduct in classrooms. Jamaica people, who know why here ISAT break down everything. I think this is a good way to wrap up the weekend and wrap up the class. 7 minutes to the hour of 2 o'clock. Jamaica, I want you to listen to Isaac Buchanan. Make us see if I can find a good photograph of Isaac. Because, yeah man, Isaac is star for the weekend. Isaac Buchanan is the star for the weekend. So let me find a good photograph of Isaac. Lord Jesus, for me, never appear trouble. Why you send so much of them to my phone? Watch your face. Lord, for me, never no easy, you know. A trouble Jamaica. And then trouble, you know. Me cute nephew, Lord Jesus. But anyway, Jamaica, Isaac Buchanan would have, you know, Isaac Buchanan would have given his arm. Anyway, Jamaica, Isaac, me I look for, you know, and then full up my phone, and then me nephew them. Anyway, where is Isaac this afternoon? I want a picture of Isaac, the honorable member for Portland Eastern. Let me see if I can find a picture of Isaac. Yes, I find one. Me know me have picture with Isaac. Jamaica, I want you to listen to Isaac Buchanan and how he put things into perspective concerning the Ministry of Education and considering the matter with Jack Den. Listen carefully as we bring the program to a close this afternoon. Listen carefully, my lovely people. Listen to this. We'll be back.
The same moral compass would have attacked the president of the JTA currently, who has reported that there are persons who are in shelters who are having sex on the school compound in visual sight of children. So the Child Care and Protection Act says you have a duty to make these things public and make it aware, because we have to protect our children, right? And while these things are being put out, you hear people saying, where is the evidence? So the most unfortunate thing was saying that the JTA president is not supposed to raise the fact that there is a possibility, an allegation that persons in the schools are having sex and are exposing children to sexual activities, let alone knowing the fact that there is case law that children on school compounds have been sexually assaulted by teachers, guidance counselors, dean of discipline, principals, all of you, coaches. They've all, the gamut have all gone through the court system. None of them is infallible to the realities that the school is an area where children are exposed to sexual activities, even amongst themselves. That's why we have the good old having sex with a person under the age of 16. That is actually a crime. and it is prosecuted regularly. And if you ever come across a learned DPP, she will say that if you're in St. Catherine, it seems like that's the only thing she prosecutes over there more than anything else in the circuit court. So let's not pretend that their persons are not now politicizing a real concern that affects children in this country. No, I'm not going to get political, and I'm not going to write a press release, and I'm not going to pontificate, and I'm not going to be a part of any political pageantry and performative politics to address an issue that affects kids. Melissa came in October, it gone, and we're in April. You still have people in shelters after promises were made that container homes or prefab homes will be provided as a temporary solution to solve the homeless problem. It means that the shelter problem should not have been an issue, and nobody should be coming to the media and saying, shut up and bring the evidence. And I'm going to just say this, and I hope this is the part where people screenshot and put out. Social media bloggers who blog for political parties, and that is your source of income. And when you hide behind filters, you don't have no education, you don't have nothing to you. In fact, if you weren't blogging, your existence would be useless. Do not conflate and mislead people in issues that affect children. There can be absolutely no justification to try to defend an allegation that there are shelterees having sex on the compound while school is in session. And if the JTA person, the president, did not raise that, he should resign. And any person who is defending that situation and say words such as bring the evidence and show the proof, you are one of the problems that promote pedophile behavior and sexual abuse against children. You are the reason why children are exploited sexually in Jamaica. Anybody who blogs and tries to promote, politicize, and shift the narrative through ad hominem when an allegation that children may be exposed visually, physically, theoretically, possibly to any sexual or performative sexual experience on school compound while parents have sent their children to learn, you are criminal. And you're in breach of the Child Care and Protection Act. If it come and to try to say, do not put it in my knowledge without evidence is problematic. It is probably one of the reasons why when children and women are victimized sexually, they have fear to report because they will hear people who blog and say, bring the evidence. But I won't get it, I won't descend into the arena, and I certainly won't be a part of pushing any narrative, but to say that the JTA president, Mark Malava, he has clapped back at critics questioning his reports of shelterees committing sexual acts while occupying school-based shelters, and he's declaring that he informed Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon. And now, let me just say that if it comes to your knowledge that these things are happening, the response could never be bring the evidence and show proof. And if somebody has even anonymously raised it, it is your duty to immediately investigate. But while you're investigating, government can stop everything they're doing and provide alternative shelters immediately and remove the nastiness or the possibility of nastiness from the children and exposing them. That is my position on that. And anybody who feels otherwise, I understand there are people who keep up umpy-skumpy behavior in this country. There are people who don't want the sexual offenses registry open. There are people who condone abuse of children at all stages, at every form, in churches, in schools, in library, public places, private, all in the house. And all I'm saying is, when it comes to the youth, this is where I will join the conversation and say to you that if it is even an iota of possibility, one need not give proof, but to shut down immediately any exposure or possibility of exposure to children, because again, and see somebody get it, we have a responsibility to protect our children from all of the evils of life, and we need not cause them to participate or be influenced by anything, conduct or actions. This is the same set of people that have posted their discomfort with how persons have paraded photos of the young athletes at Boys and Girls Championship and the discomfort. And the same set of people respond and say, oh, you going so over that for? Low them man, I just picture if them never want to get exposed, them wouldn't run. Them wouldn't, and what you worry about? That is where the moral fabric, the moral decay in our society starts to take place. And so gonna put it in context that the responses to Mark Malava, if that's the correct pronunciation of his name, and the vitriol to raise a concern that affects children, and the defense against it, because nobody has said that he is wrong. Nobody has disproved that the possibility exists, not probability, possibility. And the response is most unfortunate. And so, again, we talk about charity and we talk about change. If the government is incapable of finding alternatives, then they should use their public spaces and their platform and say, we broke another money, it's not in our budget, but we have begged some help from first world countries. We are already doing their bid and we are already abusing our citizens in the name of first world countries. The least they can do is help you to achieve some of the lies that you told post Melissa, and provide some of these homes, these container homes that I object to people living in, but put them in places that so that they can come off of the school compound and stop having sex in the view of children. That is what the reality is. Yes, so I say to you, and I'm totally not apologizing for it, that if you feel that raising issues that affect children and the possibility that the issues raised and the conduct of the persons in question had in fact taken place, and say that we should await due process and an investigation. Can you imagine if that was the approach in all scenarios where a woman was raped and she said, I get raped, and they say, well, we're going to wait and bring the evidence. You don't just come into the police station, woman, and say you get raped. Show us the video. Because that's exactly, let me just stop right there and say, the very argument when persons are condoning slackness about bringing the evidence, and them are no prosecutor, and them must say, bring the evidence before I can make a decision on situations where, in the first place, if the circumstances wasn't a reality manufactured by natural disaster, we wouldn't be having the conversation. So let's look at it. If that is the approach that we're taking, then we are having selective prosecutions. We're being biased. we're being totally disingenuous. Because, and I'm going to raise it right here, Dennis Gordon, one who is founder, owner of one of 4 companies that the names are being thrown around in the PAC and in Parliament. That particular situation, the same people that is saying bring the evidence is the same people that are saying let us revisit the ethics committee that gave Dennis Gordon an exemption. Now, we look for what is the legal ramifications, we look for what is the moral ramifications. And if we put things in context, then you can't have your cake and eat it too. Nor am I going to participate in anybody who is going to selectively say that because somebody is on your side or whatever. There are positions that people must take, and the positions must be correct in law, must be correct in morality, and we must decide whether we're upholding the Constitution, the law, or morality. And because I operate under the Constitution, because once I am in keeping with the Constitution and nothing I do is repugnant or not allowed under the Constitution, it matters not what you think. Who are you to question what the Constitution allows? And I can answer you until you know nobody. So when people get up and you call for resignations and you write these big elaborate press releases about what leaders should do and who you demand to circumvent the political will of the people. Let's start right there. But then the same people who are saying that Dennis should resign and be removed from Parliament is now saying that you must bring the evidence that people in the school are having sex in front of picnic. Otherwise, we now leave them, allow them. That type of situation ethics is even repugnant to Jesus himself during Easter, and is evidence as to why he ended up on the cross. So I will say to you, there must be some consistency in our values, and there must be fairness. Yes, there must be equity. And more than anything, it must be in keeping with the Constitution. Yes. So that a preventative method or measure would be so that no evidence has to be collected. Just the fact that the issue raised is that persons are exposing young people to nastiness, it should be cut out because it is government who is responsible and creating a dangerous situation. And let me tell you something about the law of commissions. There is a general rule that there is no duty to act, but the very law creates exceptions, and it says except in 5 circumstances. I know nobody feels that when we go to law school at chicken, me did a jerk, you know. I did a work and learn the law. And I invite people to go and understand the law and have an appreciation that you don't just make law and you don't flout law. You have to be respectful and mindful. So when the government itself creates a dangerous situation, because it is the Minister of Local Government that has sanctioned persons to go and be in shelters in school, and that schools are operating. And I'm telling you, it is a decision that the minister is caught between a rock and a hard place. Because me, Isaac Buchanan, human rights spokesperson, and the same man who ever come up and say, Minister Desmond, how you not have no way to put the people in? You is a wicked. You're supposed to at least let them stay in the school, in the shelter. Oh, you could have denied them access to shelter. Oh, Lord, you're wicked. Minister Desmond, do better. So he has taken a decision that the persons post Melissa had to live somewhere, and he was 100% correct. At the time, school never even did a keep. But months have passed and government cannot be lazy. The circumstances are changed and the situations have to be revisited.
Yes.
And so the government must demonstrate that they are helping people with every passing day. And we are supposed to be given updates to show that persons are being transitioned back to reality, because living at a school while school is being kept is an infringement on access to education in every sense of the word. The quality of the education is diminished if you send your child to school and sex education is not on the curriculum for them to learn at whatever grade, and they're being exposed to the statue out of Heroes Park, Emancipation Park, the two big statue with the breast that's out and the penis and the vagina and whatever is exposed. They don't need that in real time. This is a reality that we cannot pretend that we can defend. You cannot defend the indefensible. And I'm speaking on it strongly to say that those who have ears, let them hear. And those who have eyes, let them not see. And if you have proclivities that you want to see videos for your own personal gratification, and the call to bring the evidence is only a demonstration of where your mind is, so much so that you must satisfy yourself and invite people to video the situation so you can review it yourself to determine if this is what the people them see and the picnic them exposed to, and if it's nasty. Because I will say to you, it can't be the people saying bring the evidence, the same people that say police no need to wear body cam. And in fact, the only time police video was when the soldier come in for turning himself and said, just shoot me now, please, please. Yeah, it could never be that. Right? No, man, I'm very aware the statue that I speak of is very, 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 very relevant to our situation. So we're not having please do not detract and have any conversations about the forward and progressive artwork that is out at Heroes Emancipation Park. Let us not go there. We're not going to do that. Do it respectfully. But I'm going to say to you that we have to put all matters in context, and it is important that we do so. All right.
My God, the voice of the member for Eastern Portland. Me not nothing more to say. What more should I say heading into this blessed weekend? Me not have nothing more to say. This a man named liar, him a no liar. Eh? Me not have nothing more to say. Me speechless. I said shut it right down. Eh? These are the persons that we want to see in government. And we know it rough and we know it tough, but we're going to ride out the storm. Because we have to form the government with these bright minds, Jamaica. I want to thank you guys so much for participating today. Another wonderful class despite the late start. Yes, I will be back tomorrow, not in the morning, but in the afternoon. Tomorrow, Saturday. We have so much work to do. I can't manage to take a break. But Jamaica, it was an awesome, awesome program. And I would have ball. Then a ball, let me hear what Bolo have to say. Give me a second there, people. Let me bring up Bolo a second there.
Yes, Dre.
Go ahead, sir.
Boy, I feel validated, Dre.
Not true. Not true.
Remember, I was saying the exact same thing. The examples he used about somebody getting, raped. And we're supposed to tell them so if we carry proof, or if them get touched, is the exact same thing. And You know, they are so obsessed about protecting them status quo of how the party look. Them forget about the possibility, like the man said. Just the possibility that this is happening.
Yes.
We don't know exactly what we need to do. Like I said, I don't have anything else to say, man. Because but that's why I ask you, this was on his platform?
Yes, persons could listen the entire interview on his YouTube channel, Isaac Buchanan on YouTube,
Awesome.
so you can listen it word for word.
Awesome. I'm definitely going to do that. Big up yourself. Build up everybody on the platform. Look more.
All right, Bolo. Manners every time.
Man, every time.
Jamaica, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for, just always holding it down, as I always give thanks, because, sometimes I don't really turn on my camera on myself. So what you're hearing is just my voice. But the way how I engage is my facts and, the pictures and all. And to know that 200-300 persons can just sit and just listen to my voice, it means a lot. Don't forget that my YouTube channel launches later this month in April, and I'm going to ask the 200, 300, how many are you to start following?